Hello and welcome to episode 1 of my new vlog. I'm Bronnie Ware and I'm delighted to have you here. I figured I'd start today, the first vlog, and I've no idea how many there will be, but I decided to start today with the story of why I'm doing the vlog, which takes me to a few months ago, 2020. So I'm recording this in January of 2022. It's a stinking hot summer day. Rain is threatening. There's a cool breeze coming in the window here. I know it's probably not ideal lighting for you, and there'll be background noises and everything else, but I'm going to touch on that briefly as well. The main thing is that I wanted to start, and even though it is a stinking hot day, that breeze that's coming through is beautiful. So it's summer, obviously, in Australia in January. A few months ago, I was really sick again with rheumatoid arthritis. It just came out of the blue, and I'm not requesting advice from you. Please, that's not why I mentioned that. Why I mentioned it is because I was pretty much flat on my back for a few months, and my daughter was putting me to bed. She was dressing me, drying me from the shower. It got pretty horrific, and I was sitting in this chair a lot of the time. It's a really good lift chair, feet up, helps me stand up if I need to. I'm doing really well now, I'm coming back. Anyway, I had a lot of time to think. That's what I'm trying to say. I had a lot of time to think, and one of the things I came to, since every lesson has blessings of lessons in it, and it's trying to teach us something. And what I came to was that I was putting too much energy into work areas that weren't really bringing me pleasure. So we're in the final days, as I record this, the final days of my online courses. I'm closing those now. And a lot of people would think it's crazy because I'm actually getting rid of an income stream. And in some ways it is crazy because this vlog is not for an income, it's for pleasure. And that's what I'm moving more towards now with my work and everything. And so I was sitting there and I was just thinking, what am I not doing that I want to do, and what am I doing that I don't want to do? And I loved running online courses in the sense that it was an honour to serve people and to help people that way. But it also brought a lot more tech noise into my world, and whether it was through dealing with a team to support me or whether it was doing the tech work myself. Either way, it was spending my time doing things that weren't lighting me up. And you have to do that when you run your own business. There's a certain element of things you actually have to break through resistance to. But I was doing more and more of it and less of what I love. And what I love is one of the many things I love besides writing and my daughter and lots of other things, is photography, nature photography. And I wanted to expand myself and my knowledge around photography. I also wanted to spend more time outside, especially having been housebound so much with this COVID era and also being sick, being crook. That's slang in Australia for being sick. And I'd been really crook. So, I share my nature photos on Instagram a lot. I love taking nature photos, but I've been curious about video for quite a while. So that is why I decided to start a vlog, to see. I really started it out of curiosity, to see what I can do with photography in a moving sense rather than in still photos. And this first vlog, certainly a road trip I'm going to show you in a moment. It was all just filmed on my iPhone, and I'm doing research now on what equipment would support me. But one of the points I'd like to share with you, or one of the things I think, and always take what I say as just based on my own experience. You do your life and I'll do mine, but I share this with the loving intention of helping. If we wait for the perfect time to do things, we'll never get around to them. And so I don't actually need these earphones in my ear today, but I need this microphone because I don't have a mic that works with my phone. I had a lapel mic that worked with my old phone, but Apple don't put those, they've got that monopoly on, you've got to buy their stuff, and they don't have the old headphone jack hole thing for my old lapel mic. So today I use this, and that's fine, and I'll get a new mic, and I'll get the things I need. I also thought I would wait. I've considered vlogging for a while because I've had a bit of an aversion to doing video, so I wanted to get over that. And it's not a fear of you guys, because I'm doing this for you, my existing audience, and I love you and know you already, and it's a delight to be here with you, talking with you like this. And if you're new here and you're wondering who the heck am I, well, I guess you'll get to know me through future vlogs or read some of my books, which there'll always be links with these videos. So I was waiting for the ideal setting. That was one of the main reasons I was waiting, and just my aversion to video. But I don't want to wait any longer. Life is passing by, and there's going to be noises. I live in a gated community of 28 townhouses and villas. We're tucked up in a little green corner away from everybody, but I do have a neighbour, and there will be noises coming from that. I also live near an airport, so while we hear birds and beautiful things like that, we also hear traffic, and we hear planes going over sometimes. So I kept putting those things off. Then I decided to grow out my greys, to stop dyeing my hair and just let it go a la natural. So then it was like, okay, I'll wait until my greys have grown out. And during that time that I was crook last year, I just thought I just want to get on with it. And it wasn't so much I want to close my online courses to start a vlog. It was I want to close my online courses to create more space. Okay, here comes the first plane over. So you'll get used to this as long as I'm living in this house and filming from home. But it's life. There's travellers going somewhere, and it's going to land in about 10 minutes. And so in about 20 minutes, there's going to be a stack of people hugging each other, and some of them may not have seen each other for a very long time. So if we can sort of think of that noise in a positive way like that, it's much nicer and much more easy to handle. So I closed the online courses to create more space in my life and to allow creativity to pull me forward. And so this is the creativity that has jumped up to say, me first, me first. And so I'm doing this for curiosity. I'm doing it to serve from a non-obligatory perspective, in the sense that I want to share my thoughts with you, but I'm not counting on this blog to sell you something. I'm counting on it just for you to get to know me. And if you choose to go and buy my books or products after that, thank you. My daughter and I, thank you. You will put fruit in our fruit bowl. But my main reason is that I want to create for the love of creating. And so that's why I'm here, because I don't want to let my life pass by and let my fear of getting on with this stop me. I mean, there is a bit of fear. It's not about showing up here for you. The fear is I have to learn a new computer program, and it's going to include audio, because now that I've decided to vlog, I've got all these great ideas going on. And I had a lot of almost trauma associated with learning sound programs when I was a singer-songwriter, and the lack of support I could find to learn them. And it sort of just triggers a lot of stuff. And so I've decided, well, we're in a different era now. It's about 15 years on from that, and tech's pretty good. So anyway, there is a little bit of fear around that, and I'm really looking forward to the challenge as well, to see what I can do and what I can come up with. But I am starting today off with my iPhone, and so this road trip, I've just dropped my daughter down to my mum for a week, and the road trip that we did yesterday was all filmed on my phone. And but it's a starting point, and as I've said, if we wait for everything to be perfect, we'll just never get on with it. I didn't post this in January 2022, as I mentioned at the start of this vlog. Lesson 1, Bronnie, don't mention what date you're recording unless you're ready to post it straight away. But I'm not too far behind, and I think that's a pretty good effort for first time. So thank you for sharing this journey with me, for sharing my first vlog, and for sharing your time. And I look forward to many more experiences shared together. You stay safe out there and be as courageous as possible. Lots of love to you.